Hi, I'm Dr. Tom Klein. I'm here to answer some questions that have been submitted to us. So let me read these questions and I'll tell you the answers. How effective is Tamiflu and is it worth the cost? The answer to that is very effective and not at all. Worth the cost? Yes and no. The thing about Tamiflu is it treats influenza, but it's only effective if you take it within the first 24 hours and much less so by the time 24 to 48 hours comes around. Influenza is a virus, and if you remember, viruses are not alive. You can't kill it. Tamiflu doesn't kill influenza. What Tamiflu does is it stops influenza from being taken up in the body. So once it's all taken up, there's all done. There's really not much you can do. So once again, Tamiflu is helpful if you get it in the early stages before it's been taken up all over the body. But once it's taken up, you're just stuck. So if you're looking at buying Tamiflu by a day and a half after the onset of the symptoms, or 2 days after the onset of symptoms, your effectiveness drops off fast. If you get it in the first hour, you can take a 2-week illness and turn it into a day. So yes, it's very helpful and very effective and worth the cost if you're fortunate enough to get it in within the first few hours to the first day. But by the second day, it's much less so. What are your thoughts about the universal flu vaccine? This one is an important one. The universal flu vaccine is a vaccine for all people, for all influenzas that come around. Now I got to give you a little bit of a background information on this one. Influenza comes as the garden variety influenza, and it also comes as these things called pandemics. Pandemics scare me a lot. The last major pandemic we had was in 1918, and the reports were that it killed 50 million people. In fact, more people died of influenza on the battlefield of Europe than died of bullets and guns and war. World War I ended because of the influenza. The universal vaccine would hit that. Now, when you get vaccines for influenza, it makes you make billions of antibodies just stored in a storehouse, ready to kill. And if those antibodies are sitting there ready, then you can eradicate things quickly. If you don't have those antibodies, and your body has to take time to make them, you're dead before they do. There's a China virus right now that's killing 42% of the people within 3 days. So if you have no antibodies, then rapid death can come from influenza. If you got the antibodies, it can turn it into what we typically refer to. When we give vaccines, it's not because we have no antibodies, but because we want to prepare you with extra antibodies for that season. So they try to grab the virus that's there in that season, and then they'll give you a boost to make you go from billions to multiple billions of antibodies. And it works. It diminishes the total infections. But the universal flu is way more important. It doesn't just make you get rid of it quicker. In fact, it may not even go quicker, but it will protect you from dangerous ones. Every year we expect that a dangerous one can come around. We know we're overdue. We know that a dangerous, lethal influenza could come at any time. So the universal flu isn't going to get rid of the infections that are around here. Lots, quick, fast. What it is going to do is protect you from lethal, dangerous, and unbelievably lethal. And that universal flu shot given once should protect you from all the most scary things that can come around. There you go. Questions asked and questions answered. If more come, I'm glad to discuss them with you. Thank you.